send your intention. Send your intention if there's something specific that you are curious about, that you're working on, that you're wanting to manifest for the month of April. Magical power of your consciousness that you can also send me your intention in the moment that you were watching it and actually actively be a part of this collective. The wind card, activation and change, is coming in for starters. So I feel like April is bringing in a lot of change. For me, like the wind energy very much symbolizes change and things that come at a rapid pace. And so if you've been noticing that you've been feeling or sensing like the sense that something is coming, or the sense that sometimes when you're about to go and try something new, that your body feels a little bit uncomfortable with it because it's new and you haven't experienced it before, even if it's good, even if it's exactly what you've asked for. Notice if you get that sensation of butterflies in the stomach, or almost like kind of like the feeling of, let's say there was a job that you really wanted and it was your first day at work and you're like really excited to be there, but you don't know anybody, and it just feels like this completely different life, and you're just like in this new life all of a sudden. It's that kind of sensation. Or being like your first day of school, for instance. It's that kind of energy that sometimes this new life or these new positive things initially feel very uncomfortable. So I'm wanting to remind you to soften and remember that uncomfortable doesn't mean bad. Uncomfortable doesn't mean negative, that sometimes it's just your system adjusting to its new life. With the river card is movement. So it's interesting because we were talking about the wind and I was like, I feel a lot of change. So I do feel like, I mean, we're very much in this spring energy now. So it's the sense that, like, I feel like the creative energy is returning. Like it feels like there's this peak of creative energy and output and power that I see just really creates a lot of movement. So notice like how your creative cycle has been. So if you have been somebody that feels like they've been more in like a hermit mode, more in a rest or rejuvenation mode, more in a ideation or sort of incubation period of an idea, or a getting ready, just notice if you are seeing signs of the energy rising, of things changing, of things beginning to come together, of those first blossoms of spring coming about. Because I feel like, yeah, I think it's really a lot of divine feminines and divine creative feminines in this collective. And I feel like they are very synced up with the seasons in a big way. And that for many people, when it is spring, summer where you live, that also your energy is really connected to that. And that you kind of basically have learned to just follow the instincts of your body, and that if it's rainy, that you're not trying to kind of push, that you're just like, I'm going to use this season for me. I'm just going to use this season to rest. It feels like this group has this kind of syncing up with the seasons where they are coming in to their blossoms, right? For all the things that they've been planting in the months prior. With shape shifting, yeah, there's a lot. There's so much change here. Like I feel like just be ready in this new life to know that sometimes you're going to encounter things and people in situations where I just feel this sense that you have changed a lot, and that sometimes you're going to be in certain relationships around certain family members or friends, and that it might feel a little bit different or new, or that you may have to find new ways of connecting with people that were from a different part of your life. Because I just feel like there's a lot that has changed with you that's expressing very differently. I want to look at business and money. They told me earlier today to just go into a few different categories for people. So that's what I feel is like the energy that we're working with. Like that for me is like the energy of what's moving through in the collective. What I also want to name is like fast change. And for some people, that fast change feels like chaos. So I really just want to remind you to ground, because that energy is going to be moving through you in your life. But then other people are going to experience this energy of movement and shape shifting and quick change in different ways. For some people, if they're not really grounded or they're not expecting that change, it's a lot. It's a lot. So just kind of be mindful of that, your way of grounding and integrating that energy, that other people might be having a more difficult time with it, or the world as a whole, when that change comes, that quick change and that movement comes, sometimes it doesn't feel as comfortable to their system, right? So I just want to name that, because I think that I want everyone to be remembering this perspective when they're viewing what's going on with other people or with the outside world, so that you can continue to stay grounded and just be like, okay, I see it. I see this energy. I see you. I'm working with you. Okay, with business and money, we have bite sized, we have the teacher card and the psychic abilities card. With the teacher card and the psychic abilities card coming in reverse, this to me is about again, the divine feminines in these collectives really owning their gifts and their gifts, like the ones that they're just able to tap into, and the information that they teach that they don't have a degree for, that they just have a knowing and an experience and an embodiment of. And it feels like it's really about leaning into those gifts and understanding that many of you in this collective are the teachers and the channels that are out there in the world expressing these gifts in different ways. And it just is showing me about like this bite-sized piece, that for you, it's not about doing it all at once or doing it like feeling like it has to be fast. Like for you, just seeing that when you're consistent and that when you take things step by step, piece by piece, that you move forward and that you can maintain your alignment and your balance, and it's sustainable for you and it feels good for you. And that when you have identified and you're in the work, which I feel like all of you are now in this I just feel like everyone here feels very much like on target. I feel like you're doing what you're meant to be doing, and you are on the right track. Even if you're questioning it right now, like I feel like the message that's coming through is just emphasizing how much you are on the right track. I want to pull one out here from this. The Council of Light card came out from this deck. Divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. Look at this. Yes. This group is, wow, just like a real group of amazing humans with beautiful, very unique gifts. And I just really want to encourage you to be remembering that you're so protected, that there's so many, spirit teams and helpers. They want you to know how protected you are, and to remember that when you are sinking into your joy and your sense of play, that you are really finding all of the signs. It's like the universe is speaking back to you in signs and synchronicities, and that you've been seeing those so much. And those are all signs that you've essentially put there for yourself to show you that like you're on the right path. You're moving in the right direction. Keep going, keep trusting it. So I really just want to emphasize that I feel like this is about continuing to move forward and not letting, if the outside world feels a little bit spooked by a lot of change energy, to really remember who you are and why you're here, and that they're saying like you've been built and created for this, that you do not get shaken by things like this, and you've navigated so many challenging things that when some factors change outside of you, like you know how to deal with that. And this is your time to tell your story, to bring that forward so that other people have the tools and the ways of staying grounded and connected and having this energy, this beautiful energy that's like opening up quantum portals. Like they're just showing me that you have such beautiful, life-changing gifts. And what you're bringing to the world is you're essentially showing people like how to use the energy to create with it, to create what they want, to get what they want, and that it's really important for you to be trusting yourself and what you're meant to bring forward because everyone has different people that are going to be drawn and we need all the flavors. We need all the styles, all the flavors because there's so many different people out there that are going to want it and resonate with it in different ways. So it's really I feel really excited about that. So I just really want to encourage you to like create, be out there, do it in a bite-sized, sustainable way. But I just want you out there. Let me pull. They're telling me to pull just one about relationship with self, and then we'll move on to the meditation part. Okay, so Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion. Priestess, mystic, and teacher. Okay, so teacher has come up twice. Teacher has come up twice in this reading. So it's interesting because when they are wanting to get a point across, they will make sure that it comes through in multiple cards in multiple ways. And so I really just want to emphasize like the divine feminine, high priestess, like it's really like a divine teacher energy. And I know that many of you aren't going to be out there being like, oh, I'm a guru, or I'm a spiritual teacher, because I know that for a lot of you, that's just not your style and you're not going to have that title and you might not even share that with the world, but they're just really wanting to bring through like your nature and just to notice how talented and gifted you are at explaining things to people, at how much people just naturally gravitate and want to learn from you, and how much your voice, and even if you feel like you're teaching something that feels like it's something that you read somewhere else, that you have your own unique twist on it and you're adding it with your entire set of life experiences and stories, and that your version of it needs to be out there. Like I just feel like the world and everything that you came here for, I just really, really need to emphasize how much you're needed, and to just not even get caught up with like how many views things get, or feeling like just know it's going to reach the right people, and it reaching one right person, you never know how that's going to change things. Or if you have a lot of views on some things and not a lot on others, like just know that it's like all happening the way that it needs to, and that you're just have to keep going. It's just like, I feel like it's like bite size, but just keep showing up, because it just feels like your presence, your energy is just really needed. Okay. All right. So we'll conclude that for now. What I want to